Hi trader, Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. What a week, right? I feel exhausted. How are you feeling? Are you feeling exhausted? At any rate, I have given what the market went through this week, I always think about how traders, in particular newer traders, are reacting. So before I pose this question that you're seeing on the screen, if you are a new trader, I want to say welcome to our channel. If this is your first time tuning in, if you are a new trader, however, you are returning and you're dialed into our channel day in and day out, I want to say thank you. It means a lot to us here at the ShortMeTina community. So for the newer traders, right, or even the veteran traders out there, there was an individual that commented in one of our videos and stated he or she has been trading since the 90s. That's a very long time, right? A very long time. So what was going on in the market had me wondering, not with just newer traders, but just traders in general. How are traders reacting to this quote unquote sell-off, right? Because the market at one point today, I think, was down to around 282. We'll cover that a little bit later. So it's off, what is it, about 3 to 4% from the most recent highs, right? So the selling, while in many, you know what, let's not go there. We'll go there when we're talking about the markets. To this question, and this is the second question that I'm posing in this sort of format. The first one, if you remember, let's see if I have it on the screen here. The first one, if you remember, was this question. What is the one thing you cannot control as a trader? And if understood, your trading performance will or can improve vastly. I got tons of response to that question. I got tons of emails in response to that question, and I want to highlight there were very good responses. You know, I was blown away. So very smart listeners here at the ShortMeTina YouTube channel. So I said, well, I got some really good answers with this question. Let me pose another one. So the question on your screen is, what are the 3 pillars of successful trading, right? Big word. What are the 3 pillars of successful trading? And I think, right, I almost know because this is what I use, right? I have these 3 pillars, hence why I have been consistently profitable. Up year to date, even up double digits year to date, even with the craziness that has gone on in the market dating back to late October. So I believe, right, it's my opinion, Tina's opinion, that you need 3 things, and I will cover it in a later video. I will disclose to you what I believe are the 3 pillars of successful trading. But before I put it out there, I want to know if you folks are aware. If you don't have all 3, just take a stab at it. Comment in the comment section. Just take a guess at it, right? Again, there are never any, I don't want to say wrong answers, right? But there are more, you know what? I don't want to go there. Let's just keep it simple and basic. The 3 pillars. What is the foundation, right? What is at the core of successful trading? If you're not a successful trader, right? If you're losing money the way I was many years ago as a trader, when I was losing my hat or my shirt, as the expression goes, in the stock market, I believe I was missing all 3 of these pillars. If I can reflect and think back on it. Let's see. I'm reflecting back right now, so excuse the pause. Yes, I was missing all 3 of them, and it was reflected in my trading performance, right? I believe you need to have all 3, not just 1, not just 2, but all 3 at all times to be consistent. So one more time before we get into the recap of the overall market. 3 pillars. What do you think they are? Comment in the comment section, because guess what? Once you have these 3 things down packed and you understand them, that's it, right? It's only uphill from here. right? It'll be, I don't want to say smooth sailing, but the sailing will be a lot more smooth than you're experiencing right now. It's not going to be those rough waters, right? The shores are going to be very tamed if you can understand the three pillars. Tell me what you think you need, right? Let's help each other out. Let's get into a recap of the overall market. All right, so what we see on the screen right now is the S&P 500 daily chart dating back to 2017. Again, if you're a returning listener, you know what I'm going to say right now. SPY, trading within a range, trading within a channel. The lower end of that channel comes in at around, we can say 260. The upper end of that channel comes in at around 282. We've been cycling through that channel since 2017 with the exception of a few springs. Spring 1, 2, 3, and we can call it 4 here when it breached support of 260 in mid-December. At any rate, we had a pretty quote-unquote rough week in the markets, right? And the video that I did yesterday, feel free to go and listen to that. I actually broke the SPY down on, I believe it was a 5-minute chart, but let me zoom in here. So what I essentially said was when the SPY, and I shaded this, not shaded, but this blue box here, yeah, we can say it's shaded. This blue shaded area, right, essentially for me was the area that the market should have a bounce. So I said, well, backtracking, right? 280 to 282 resistance level. That's this blue line here. I said once we surpass that and we can hold, we should rally. We had the rally. I said, well, we've rallied a great deal, not only from the breakout point of 280, but also from the December lows of around 233. Huge rally. Expect your pullbacks. I said a pullback to that initial breakout base once resistance should now act as support, right? Should now act as support. If it is a decent level of support, and I said, and not quicksand, we should have a bounce once we get into that shaded area, which would be 280 to 282. And I highlighted it, right? Because sometimes it's just easier to see when things are, hence why I have like, notations and highlights and things drawn on this chart, because it just makes things easier and it stands out a bit more. So what happened yesterday? We almost got into that blue shaded area. We got as low as 283.30. We bounced. What happened today? The market opened lower. We had a bit of a decline. Went as low as 282.30, right? Kind of got into that shaded area, that box, right? Slightly above, because again, I said resistance levels was 280 to 282. We got to 282.30. And then we bounced to close at 288.10 rally. Now, is that it? Is the sell-off over? Will we now go on to retest once again all-time highs and continue trending? That's very much so a possibility. I'm not really, I do these daily videos, but the day-to-day fluctuations of the market shouldn't really concern you. I pay attention to levels. So for me, as long as it can stay above that 280 to 282 level, then I'm not hugely concerned, right? So even if it's at 284, 285, 282.50, as long as even if it's at 281, as long as it stays above 280, I'm not overly concerned. And right now it's doing a hell of a job staying above that level. So far so good. What else? IWM, keeping in step with what I just said, just paying attention to levels. Right now, my eye is once again on 160. We closed at 156.62. So paying attention to 160, seeing whether or not the market is having a hard time getting above and sustaining that. We were able to get above twice this week, and we haven't done that for 6 or 7 months. So for me, that's a tip in the bull's direction. And the fact that we're still lurking and hanging around 160, for me, another tip in the bull's direction. The bears tried to suppress the markets this week, but the bulls, in my opinion, they've held it up, right? Again, granted, we closed at 156, under 160, but not by that much. So Friday is said and done with. Let's see what the markets has in store for us next week. I'm sure it's going to be fun. What else? And then we have Uber, made its grand debut today, right? Ticker UBER, a minute chart. So we only have a day's worth of data. Clearly, it didn't perform that well today. I didn't pay attention much to Uber, but topped out at around high 40s. Doesn't look like we even got to 45 today. Closed at 41.41. Pretty much like a round trip in my opinion, right? Went as low as 41.09 today, right here, popped up, round, back, almost back to this point here. So going into next week, it seems as though it's going to head lower. I just pay attention to this cluster here. So that means I'd be paying attention to around the mid 41s, like 41.50, 41.60, etc. Essentially where it closed, I'd be paying attention to that area. If it breaks, more than likely we're going to retest today's low and possibly break if we can't hold it. So ticker UBER heading into next week. It seems it might be more of a sell-off underway on Monday, but time will tell. Pay attention. I would say to, again, that 41.50 area, 41.60, 41.40, this cluster right here, and then pay attention to the most recent lows of 41.09. What else? All right, and why not talk about Lyft hourly chart? Basically, 2 months worth of data since the stock IPO'd, faring just as badly as Uber. Uber is faring just as badly as Lyft. I wouldn't say Uber is faring as badly as Lyft, right? Because Uber off about maybe 4 or 5 points on the day. It's its first trading day, whereas Lyft has been on the market for about 2 months, topped out at 88.58, sitting here at 51.09. That's a haircut of around, do the math, maybe about 40%, somewhere around there. So Lyft is definitely doing poorly, off about 7% on the day. Broke its we can say it's 1 month support of around, we can call that $55, this level right here. And it's been lower since then, right? Closed at 51.09. So is there a possibility it's going to drift lower? Yes, but going from 88 to 51 is a steep decline in 2 months. So even if there is more selling to be had, I don't think it's going to be as intense, right? I can't see Lyft trading in the 30s within the next month or so. Do I see it going into the 40s? Possibly, right? So I can see it going to around high 40s, not even low 40s. I see it going around high 40s again, which would be about a 50% haircut. So I say all that to say, at any moment, expect your bounces with Lyft, right? And to see or to tell whether or not you're going to have that bounce, the stock should start consolidating, essentially trading like this. And if you can trade like this, more than likely a reversal is on the way. So not saying to jump into Lyft, by no means. But what I'm saying is from a high of 88 to where we're sitting at right now, we've already had a steep decline and a huge haircut. I can't see the stock shedding another 40%. That's what I'm saying. What else? And then we have ticker CRON daily chart. Stock up nicely on the day, up about 9.3%, closed at $15.40. So was yesterday low the low, right? The low was $13.90, meaning is there now a shift in sentiment? Is it now the time to go long in CRON? Or is the reversal underway? That's what you're asking yourself, right? That is what I'm also asking myself. And so for me, what I'm paying attention to would be this level here. That's where you saw the violent break with volume. So I'm paying attention to around $16 to $16.50. If we can penetrate that on volume, then yes, $13.90 was the bottom and it might be your cue to go long. If we have difficulties getting above that $16 to $16.50 level, then there might be further decline. For me, still waiting on the sidelines. I would like the stock to come down more, but we got to see. Again, was $13.90 the low? For me to decide that, I have to see how things play out. So I'm paying attention to those levels I just mentioned before. What else? All right, and then we have ticker ROKU, Roku. It's been up nicely these past few days, up hugely since bottoming out in December. It went as low as around $28 to today's most recent high, all-time highs actually, of $86.50. So stock is pulling back here, closed at $82.75. Is it a buy in my opinion? Not now. Absolutely not. Not when a stock has ran from 28 to 86 in the span of 5 months. The chart is bullish, but expect the stock to pull back, in my opinion, to its breakout base of around $60. So that's a bit of a haircut. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but I can't see this running too much more without really digesting that move, meaning profit takers should be stepping in if they aren't, or if they haven't already. What else? And let's wrap it up and round it out with ticker APRON. What? Where did I get that O from? Did I just say ticker APRO? I spelled it. Nice. Ticker APRN. It's been a long week. Anyway, off about 6%. I want to use this video to illustrate a point. Closed at 82 cents, again off about 6% on the day. And I've done several videos on Blue Apron, and I said, well, a dollar was sort of that pivot spot, right? If it can hold that area, right, it should break free to the upside. If it breaches that area, then the story doesn't look so great. And it bounced off of and I said another thing. I said that the longer it stays in that area, right, the longer it retests $1, chances of that area breaking is more likely. And that's sort of what unfolded. We bounced around $1. Great, we held it, but we kept bouncing around $1 quite often without pushing up too much, or rather without it bouncing in any sort of meaningful way. Eventually caved that $1 area, which is this blue line here, and then you can see that it declined rapidly. And generally that's what happens, in my opinion, with those pivot spots, over under. When it moves under that pivot spot, then things sorts to accelerate, in my opinion, in a very violent manner. You can see it here with the volume. And again, once it breaks above a particular area, like it did here, it usually moves in that direction equally as violently. So you can see in April, when it moved above $1, it went quickly to 124. When it breached $1, it went quickly to 82 cents. All right. So hope that made sense. So that's it. Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, I'd like for you to do 3 things for me. 1, comment in the comment section. I posed a lot of questions. I said a lot of things. If you agreed with any of my analysis, comment, let me know. If you're a new trader or a seasoned trader, continue to say hi. You know, I always say hi back. And more importantly, the question that I posed at the beginning of the video, right? What was the question? What are the 3 pillars of successful trading? Take a stab at it. Try to answer that question. Secondly, again, if you want to see more videos like this, head on over to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina and hit that subscribe button. I do videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If the stock market is open, expect to find a video. If you're subscribed, notifications are turned on, you'll never miss one. And lastly, if you think you can learn anything from this stock market veteran, I've been trading for over 15 years, then head on over to ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support. TGIF, have a safe weekend, enjoyable Mother's Day for those who celebrate. Tell your mom you love her, and I will